Hello and welcome to NewsClick. I am Sumedha. On this episode of the Daily Roundup, we give you a glimpse of some of the most important stories from India and around the world. Take a look at our top stories today. Today, as our top story, we are commemorating 100 years of the Jallianwala Bagh tragedy, which had happened on the 13th of April in 1919. It was one of the most tragic incidents of pre-independent India, which had led to the death of about 379 women, children and men, and it had injured about 1,200 persons. It was a watershed moment in the independence struggle for India. And it led to the creation and it led to the inspiration to hundreds and thousands of Indians to fight for their freedom. Take a look at our special feature. The tragedy of Jallianwala Bagh massacre can be best summed up in the words of the poet Nanak Singh, who was a survivor of the tragedy, in his poem Khooni Vaishakhi. Rolat bil ne ghatiya aan rola, sare hind de log udas hoye, वांग भटते तपिया देश सारा, मानो सब दे लंबा ते सास होए, लगा मिलन अनाम अज हिंदुआं नू, जेड़े मुदतां तो सीगे दास होए, फांसी जमा दी गल पे गई यारों, जिसनू देख के बहुत निराश हुए. So British Prime Minister Theresa May has also expressed that it was a shameful incident in the history of the pre-independent India. We've also had a special discussion between Prabir Purkayastha and senior journalist Nilanjan. Have a look at that discussion as well.
Jallianwala Bagh massacre. There are two other elements of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre I would like you to sort of respond to. One was the first award wapsi in India. Exactly. Was really that Rabindranath Tagore returning his knighthood. Yes. And for those who complain about award wapsi, which took place after various attacks, lynchings and so on, it's unfortunate. Kalburgi's murder was also the other trigger for the return of the awards. The award wapsi is also tied up with the Jallianwala Bagh because it was Tagore's return of the award which also gave it a far bigger, at that time, legitimacy that, okay, people have protested, we have to now protest. Massacres have taken place, we have now to protest. And it virtually, Jallianwala Bagh was the trigger for a much larger mass movement in the country.
Much larger mass movement at that time. In fact, while you know, after you said that you wanted to discuss Jallianwala Bagh, so I was just kind of reading up, and I decided to just once again read Tagore's letter when he referred, and what two paragraphs really struck me. You know, I just want to share it with you and also the viewers. You know, Tagore in his letter said, you know, the time has come when badges of honor make our shame glaring in their incongruous context of humiliation, and I, for my part, wish to stand shorn of all special distinctions by the side of my countrymen. Just a couple of sentences prior to that, he said, the very least that I can do for my country is to take all consequences upon myself in giving voice to the protest of the millions of my countrymen surprised into a dumb anguish of terror. You know, possibly the finest words that you can actually say, you know, to tell the British Empire that I don't want your knighthood. And I stand with the poorest of the poor, the most oppressed. Someone who is just expressing not even a political right, but just to celebrate their annual Baisakhi Day.
इसी के साथ अब हम आपको लेकर चलते हैं उत्तर प्रदेश की ओर, जहां पर से हम आपको दिखाएंगे अपनी एक ग्राउंड रिपोर्ट। बालाकोट स्ट्राइक्स के बाद बच्चों की मानसिकता पर, इस तरह के तनावी माहौल में उनकी मानसिकता पर किस तरह का प्रभाव पड़ा है, आइए देखते हैं।
मैं चाहता हूं कि सीमा पर जो वीर मरते हैं वो लोग कुछ काम करें।
क्या?
पाकिस्तान को जल्दी से ख़त्म कर दें।
वाह, क्या बनना चाहते हो आगे चल के?
मैं वैज्ञानिक बनना चाहता हूँ।
हाँ?
वैज्ञानिक।
मैकेनिक।
वैज्ञानिक।
वैज्ञानिक बनना चाहते हो?
यस सर।
क्या करता है वैज्ञानिक?
वैज्ञानिक सभी खोज करता है।
तुम क्या खोजोगे?
मैं ऐसा बम बनाऊंगा कि एक ही बार में चीन खत्म हो जाए।
एक बार में?
चीन खत्म हो जाए।
अभी किस क्लास में हो तुम?
अभी मैं 7 में हूँ।
तुमको कैसे पता चला कि सीमा पे लोग मरे हैं? कहाँ से पता चला?
जी सर जी, न्यूज से पता चला।
कौन सा न्यूज देखे थे?
ABP न्यूज।
इसमें इन बच्चों को कौन पढ़ाता है आज, अगर हम आपसे बात कर रहे हैं आज?
अब जैसे सर हमारे प्राथमिक के ही टीचर हैं जो इसमें जो है कि क्लास दिखवा लेते हैं।
नहीं तो एक पूर्व माध्यमिक विद्यालय में कोई टीचर है या नहीं?
नहीं, कोई नहीं। ये केवल एक चार्ज के रूप में हमको मिल गया है कि विद्यालय आप खोलें।
हाँ,
तो अपने प्राथमिक विद्यालय के अध्यापकों से बीच बीच में हम क्लास चलवा लेते हैं।
3-4 साल से सिर्फ एक टीचर रहते थे और दूसरा टीचर आए तो वो भी चले गए। उनका ट्रांसफ़र हो चुका। अब एक ही टीचर है, वो क्या करेंगे अकेले?
वो तो रिटायर कर गए।
जी।
अब कोई नहीं है?
जी सर, ये आए हैं।
अब कोई टीचर नहीं है?
जी नहीं। अब पूर्व माध्यमिक विद्यालय बगरी में एक भी टीचर नहीं है। प्राइमरी के टीचर जो है हम लोग को पढ़ा रहे हैं।
बिजली है बेटा?
नहीं, बिजली भी नहीं है।
कब से नहीं है?
6-7 साल वर्ष से।
इसी के साथ अब हम बढ़ रहे हैं अपनी इंटरनेशनल सेक्शन की ओर। हमारे साथ जुड़ गए हैं प्रशांत, जो चर्चा करेंगे विदेश की खबरों पर।
Software developer and privacy activist Ola Bini has been remanded for 90 days in Ecuador. Ola Bini was arrested on April 9 as he was about to board a flight to Japan. He was arrested without the information of the Swedish embassy, and he is a Swedish citizen. This is against international protocol in such matters. Ola Bini was not allowed to have any access to lawyers for nearly 17 hours, and his hearing happened only 30 hours, which is also illegal. At the hearing, instead of presenting any concrete charges, the authorities requested pre-trial detention, which was given. Bini's arrest came a few hours after the Ecuador Interior Minister vaguely speculated that there were Russian hackers working in the country. Responding to these accusations, noted lawyer Renata Avila told NewsClick that Ola Bini's arrest was just an attempt by Ecuadorian President Lenin Moreno to save face. Moreno has been in the thick of controversy recently after the release of the INA papers, which exposed a lot of details about corruption from those close to him. Bini's arrest has led to a wave of protests across the world. Software activists, as well as digital rights campaigners, have launched a campaign to ensure that he is freed. Thank you.
इसी के साथ आज के एपिसोड पर बस इतना ही। न्यूज़ क्लिक की देश और विदेश की और चुनाव की खबरें फॉलो करने के लिए जाइए हमारी वेबसाइट पर www.newsclick.in। सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे YouTube चैनल को और फॉलो कीजिए हमें फेसबुक पर। देखने के लिए धन्यवाद।